ancestral wisdom here. Got another video for you. This one's about making wooden spoons. So I took a wooden spoon from the wife's kitchen and laid out some blanks. I've got it sped up here a little bit for you so you don't have to watch all the boring stuff. This is that chainsaw that I just sharpened in a previous video. I'll see you in the workshop. Okay, we are going to lay out our spoon blanks. So we have our blank here. First thing that we're going to do is we're just going to mark center of both ends. And we're going to draw a line down the center. Okay, we have that done. Now we are going to see how big of a spoon we can make, the ladle portion of the spoon. So it looks like we got 2 3/4, pretty well at the widest point. And we're going to try to make this spoon as wide as we can make it, as big as we can make it. So let's just go with, let's make it 2.5. Okay, so we're gonna go give ourselves a little bit of room here. So I'll mark that down about 1 5/8. And we'll just press that down on that center. Okay, we've got that marked now. We'll adjust our compass to the edge of the workpiece. We'll tighten that down. Now we're going to draw a circle. Okay, there's our spoon. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to taper this from small to big right here. So we're going to start out with 5/8 on this end. So we need to go 5/16 here and 5/16 here. And then down on this end, we're going to make it 1 inch. So we're going to go 1/2 inch this way and 1/2 inch that way. Then all we have to do is connect those lines. We don't need to draw it all the way into the spoon because we're not going to be cutting that. We're just going to put our square from end to end. And then we're just going to draw the portion of the line that we need. Okay, so everything's centered on there. Everything is symmetrical. And now what we need to do is determine what kind of radius we're going to have here, because this is going to look kind of funny. If this doesn't have a smooth transition into this, it's going to look a little bit weird. So we're going to do a little bit of layout on here, and I'll show you how we can do that. Okay, so we've moved our spoon blank out of the way, and we need to set this up for a radius coming the opposite direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line underneath here. Okay, so now we have a reference line to go by. We've got our spoon blank back. We've got our square set to 90 degrees. Okay. Now we're going to just set this on our line that we made. And I'm just going to mark this out to where we have a line running across our radius, and it's perpendicular to the line coming down here. Now, clean off my workstation so you can see. Okay, now we're going to take this, we're going to put it up here, and all I'm doing is I'm lining up that line that I just made with the line that I put on the placemat. And we'll come in and I'll show you. Okay, so I've got that lined up there. Now I've got to figure out how to get this radius to where it's in the same spot. So I can do it by trial and error. I can just look at this and kind of eyeball how far I need to go down to make that transition. That looks pretty good right there. So we're just going to set our square, because I'm just kind of going by feel here, but I want them to match. Okay, so we have this one marked. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so now we just need to take some dimensions. We've got this dimension where the line intersects, and then we have this dimension where that line intersects. So we just need to pull some dimensions. We need to match this to this side and match this to this side. And then also I'm pushing my compass down pretty tightly up against this mat. So I'm going to have a reference mark there that I can also measure to, so that I can set my square accordingly. Okay, so down from that reference mark to the point that I just made, I have 3 inches. Okay, so I can make a 3-inch mark there, and I'm just kind of guessing how far out I am because I'm going to take that dimension next. Okay, so I'm 3 inches there, and then we want to go from center to that point. I've got 5 1/8. So I'm going to come back over here, being really careful not to move anything, and I'm just going to trace the edge of my tape. Okay, so 3 inches down. There. Remember, I've already got my square or my compass locked in place. I'm gonna move this out of the way a little bit. Okay, I've got my mark there, and I'm just gonna take this up, mark it. Okay, now I've got my spoon laid out. Those two arches that are on the sides are symmetrical, and we are ready to cut a template.